The AirPods Pro 2 have 3 new features around hearing. So if you didn't know, my dad actually struggles with hearing loss, which potentially is genetic, so I might struggle with it too. And one thing that I try to do is to protect my hearing. In New York City, I heard this fact that New Yorkers lose 1% of their hearing every year because it is so loud from sirens and all just the active and general noise. And I want to protect my hearing because if I start to lose it, it's really hard to understand people. Just communicating with my dad can be a struggle sometimes. And I want to personally extend the lifespan of how well my ears work for as long as possible. And knowing that this Apple product can now provide a tool for people to do a hearing test at home to understand where your hearing levels are at, to provide active hearing protection, whether you're at a club, a bar, even just like loud environments that you might not even think about, like group fitness classes, to protect your ears and your hearing. And then lastly, a hearing aid. So if you know that you don't have good hearing, you can use the AirPods as a very affordable hearing aid option, because the ones that my dad has are like 10 times the price of AirPods. So today I am actually going to surprise my entire family with AirPods for each person, because it's kind of gross to share them. They're gonna do a hearing test so we can see what kind of scores each person gets from a variety of age ranges and genders, obviously all within my family. And then I'm gonna share the results. Then because my dad does use a hearing aid, I want to see what he thinks of his current hearing aid. That's I think like $3,000 or $4,000, maybe $5,000, versus the AirPods Pro 2, which are in the hundreds of dollars as a hearing aid. So let's get into it. All right, we have gathered here today. We're gonna do something fun, a fun activity. Are you excited?
Yes! What is it? Don't balloon
Okay.
it.
Wait, actually, am I gonna get an information
What's your favorite thing about Shervin?
that you give us free stuff?
What? All right, Sheila gets the first free gift. Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Let's see. Can you show me? Show me your AirPods.
What is
Mom,
happening?
show me yours. Wow. Show me yours. Wow. Show me yours. Wow. Show me yours. Wow. You don't even want them? Then I'll take him.
I'll take them.
What?
What am I putting in my ear?
Connect it to your phone. Okay, now go to your phone, go to settings, go to go to your AirPods. All right, are you on the info page where it says AirPods?
Yes.
Okay, now tap hearing protection.
Hearing protection.
Make sure that environmental loud sound reduction is on, and then go down to hearing assistance. Okay, you ready? We're gonna say take hearing test.
Take hearing test.
Take hearing test. Get started.
She's holding it open longer. Good for you.
Needs adjustment. Now, my dad has done a professional audiogram at a hearing doctor, I think it's called. 4040, and this one's 4450.
Yeah, let me.
I think he's the only one that's actually done it. I'm curious, and now I should do it too. If we get enough comments, I'll make a video comparing a doctor versus my AirPods Pro 2 test. And if you want to run this test yourself, you need to make sure that you have the newest iOS 18 software update, as well as making sure that your AirPods Pro 2 are also up to date. You can leave both of these on the charger overnight to make sure all the updates happen. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a YouTuber, so I'll take this all with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna go into detail on the exact setup process, but we show you everything that we experience and what it's like. Now, one thing we learned was we wanna really make sure that the tips that you choose are the right size for your ears, because if they're not, the hearing test can be a little frustrating. You might have to restart it and it might not work properly. So really make sure before you start the hearing test, find the optimal ear tip size for your specific ears. Take hearing test. Get started. Are you 18 or older?
Yes. Are you experiencing no? Have you been in a loud environment like
Yeah, right now.
no? Next.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Ears. Okay. Next.
Okay. Next.
Next.
Okay. Everyone be very quiet.
You can't do it.
Shh.
She just swatted you.
You already did that. Needs adjustment. Are they in properly? Are they in? Too much noise? Hey,
A little.
try
I
again.
think you should have done the Oprah Winfrey status. You get an AirPod. You get an AirPod.
previously taken an audiogram test, you can actually enter those results manually, and all this information will be available inside of Apple Health. So my dad was able to easily take a picture, scan a QR code, or just manually enter the numbers. Fun fact, Apple's Vice President of Health, Sumbal Desai, MD, has said, hearing health is an essential part of our overall well-being, yet it can be overlooked. In fact, according to the Apple Hearing Study, a staggering 75% of people diagnosed with hearing loss go untreated. So now having a tool available pretty much in so many people's hands is going to make it effortless to understand where your hearing loss is at, and potentially provide a tool to make it better. In fact, 80% of adults in the US have not had their hearing checked in the last 5 years, according to the American Speech Language Hearing Association. And fun fact, I am one of those. So how does all this work? The hearing aid mode uses the microphone to pick up and amplify external sounds, making them easier to hear. Now that we've done the test, those results, it's very interesting to see. My mom was really happy to find out she doesn't have any hearing problems. So it didn't work for you twice?
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
It didn't work?
No.
It says mild hearing loss?
Mm-hmm.
Does it let you set it up as a hearing aid? And then hearing test results.
Oh.
And then tap it, and you can see your hearing
Sen
results.
into the left and right fark eder. I'm not sure what they mean by 44
just,
decibel.
Oh, your right ear is worse than your left ear.
Right ear?
That's why he probably has a hard time hearing me. Like if we switch
No,
seats.
no, he has.
So now you can use the AirPods as a hearing aid. Your hearing aid is ready. Turn on hearing aid. You can make adjustments in Control Center. So this is the hearing aid?
Is that what you're talking now?
Yeah, what? What?
It's very loud.
It's very loud?
Not very loud, but
You can hear me?
very kind of on the louder side.
Okay, wow, so now you can use the AirPods as hearing aids. What do you think of that?
The only problem is that there's a big thing on your ear all
And
the
people
time.
see it.
Yeah, but other one
It's discreet?
not that obvious.
Ah,
At work, he doesn't want it to be
It's
so
kind of
noisy.
odd, yeah.
that if you have AirPods in?
Yeah.
But if it was socially acceptable, then it would be different? Because earplugs are a little more discreet, I've found it that I still struggle wearing AirPods at a festival because they're like, you're at a festival, you're here to hear. Why are you wearing AirPods? Are you listening to something else? If you're at a club or a bar, it might not be as socially acceptable. But at the beginning when AirPods first came out, it wasn't socially acceptable to wear AirPods at all. But now, if you don't wear AirPods and you're walking down the street, you look a little weird. So I think there will be a point where society will change and it will feel more normal for people to be wearing AirPods and having a conversation. And people don't assume that you're talking on the phone or listening to music, but you're actually using those AirPods to protect or help your ears. Maybe it's to understand the conversation better or to protect your ears in loud environments while still being able to communicate. And how to prevent hearing loss. Right, and a habit that I like to use is earplugs. I get made fun of this for a lot by some friends, but I think it's important to protect my hearing, especially concerts, clubs, group fitness classes. That's a big one. People think they're going to work out to get healthy, yet at the same time, there's a very high likelihood you're damaging your ears. Some of these classes are so loud, it is extremely bad for your ears. I always wear earplugs inside of group fitness classes. I don't want to name any names, but these group fitness companies need to turn down the volume. And if you didn't know, 1 in 3 people are regularly exposed to loud environmental noises that could impact your hearing. Like I said, the subway, commuting, walking past a construction site, sporting events. So if I don't want to wear earplugs, I can now wear AirPods and it's going to reduce these loud sounds. The feature is really cool because when you put them in, I even have my Apple Watch, it'll say like with AirPods, how well the hearing protection is working and the decibel amount it's currently getting and what the AirPods are dropping it down to help protect with these loud noises. And it's checking 48,000 times per second with their H2 chip. Now hearing protection is on by default whenever you have any noise control mode on. And if you have the Apple Watch, like I can tap the noise app and be able to see that information. It shows me the decibels, how much it's reducing with the AirPods, and I love using this at concerts. Now let's break down the pros and cons of the AirPods Pro 2 and using it for these 3 features. Now I love that they're super easy to use. They already connect to my phone. I already use AirPods on a daily basis. They're very easy to charge. I can use my wireless charger, Apple Watch charger, USB-C charger, and I can keep them juiced and going. They don't last as long as maybe I'd want to. My dad's hearing aids last all day, whereas AirPods you'll get, solid amount of hours, but I will have to put them back on the charger and take them out of my ears. So it is a great budget-friendly option, which usually when you think Apple, it's premium. But when you compare it to medical grade hearing aids, this is drastically cheaper. So I think AirPods are a great introductory way to, 1, test your hearing, and an introductory way to start using hearing aids. It might not be the best long-term tool at this moment, but I do expect Apple to keep improving this product to make it easier to use. And as time goes on, more socially acceptable as more people learn about what's possible and learn that people might actually just be using this for hearing aids and not jamming out to their new favorite song. When I go to the store, if I have my AirPods in, people like don't talk to me as loud because they assume that I'm listening to music. So once it becomes like normal for them to think that I'm not listening to music and I'm able to hear them, I think society will change a little bit, but that will take time. And one thing to note is Apple might not detect great hearing loss. So anyone with hearing loss greater than 55 decibels or more, you will not be a good candidate for this. So it's just something to keep in mind. You still might want to go and see a doctor. Now, these are not a substitute for hearing protection like solid ones at concerts and construction zones, but they can be helpful to minimize everyday exposure to loud sounds. I personally will keep using my earplugs, and as I get more confident in using my AirPods as hearing protection tools, I will. My dad did try to use them as hearing aids, but he just loved his clinical grade hearing aids that much more. They're easier to put on. There's something about how it sounds that he just preferred. So he went back to using those and not using the AirPods as much. But if he didn't have the money or the access to be able to get these nice hearing aids, this would have been a great alternative. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from my family and my parents, go check out where I did a full body MRI scan on my parents. It is the $5,000 Pernuvo MRI scan, link down below. Hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, turn notifications, follow me at Shervin Shares. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.